Did you know there are only two ways to minimizing investing mistakes? One is you do it yourself by making mistakes, which is an expensive one. And another one is a smart one to learn from others' mistakes. Hello everyone, in this video we examine the most common mistakes made by everyday investors and how you can prevent them. Take this video as a checklist where you can look at your own investing practices and list out the mistakes you've been making and then try to improve them. Mistake number 1. Investing without understanding. Person who is considered the world's best investor suggests it is better for investors to invest in funds rather than individual stocks. It is due to people like to chase stocks which are in trend without understanding the business behind it and end up losing it. When analysts recommend or invest in a stock, they put hours and hours of research into it and reject dozens of companies. This sort of due diligence is the bare minimum expected from any investors to ensure your investments are worthwhile, and that they stand a chance to make a healthy profit for you. The more due diligence you perform, the better your investing results you will get. If you don't have this time, then you are better off investing in professionally managed funds or a registered advisor. Mistake number 2. Ignoring asset allocation. Many studies have concluded that asset allocation has a major bearing on portfolio returns, and yet the simple task is mostly ignored by most investors. A balanced investor who puts part of his money in debt, gold and equities can make as much returns as someone who does not asset allocate but 100% of his money in a single asset class but with less risk. Remember how it is important to get your team composition with right attackers, midfielders and defenders. The right composition of asset classes too will go a long way in ensuring you achieve the most optimum risk-adjusted returns. Mistake number 3. Trying to time the market. People in India and around the world trying to chase an imaginary line, assuming that they know when the market peaks and when it bottomed out. Studies shows that more than timing the market, what has a larger bearing on your investing income and your investing wealth is the time you stay in the market. Mistake number 4. Use money that you cannot afford to risk. We often talk about keeping money aside for short-term goals, like a child's school fees, paying off a loan, or simply setting up an emergency fund. These are personal important finances elements, and one should not invest any of this money, especially in the equity markets. And also the money that you don't own, like personal loans. This is what most advisors and key invest said. Mistake number 5. Lack of patience. Impatient is often termed as the most costly emotion with investing and comes from having unrealistic timelines. For instance, stocks are nothing but a representation of a business, and every business needs adequate time to build strategies, start production, setting up distribution systems, collecting revenue, and a lot more, all of which takes time. However, investors expect that the shares they recently bought to move immediately in their direction, which almost never happens, and this mismatch of expectation that pushes these short-term investors to sell before reaping the advantages of the business's growth. In fact, patience has been one of common trait amongst most of the world's greatest investors who have held their shares for many years, and have been rewarded for their patience many times over. So remember, a steady and calculative approach with a realistic time frame will yield you greater returns in the long run. And with this we conclude the 5 most common investing mistakes made by investors. Mistakes are a part of the investing process, and knowing what they are and when you are committing them, and how to avoid them will help you succeed as an investor. The 5 investing mistakes in this video are not the only ones, so if you remember some others that you have made, then do add them to the comments box below. If you like this video, then do subscribe to PA Wealth YouTube channel, and also like, comment and share the video.